Okay. All right. I think we are going live. If anybody's out there, go ahead and share some love. Do some thumbs up or some hearts and let me know that you're here. I actually need to get my hair up before we get started. Okay, somebody's joining us. Welcome. I'm really glad that you came to visit. Just gonna get my hair up and out of the way. And then wash my hands one more time. So we'll give everyone a few minutes to get on. Not minutes, just a few seconds. Oh, we've got quite a few people. If you're present, go ahead and do some hearts saying that you joined. Hey, Angela, great to see you. Hey, Meredith, great to see you as well. You're gonna love this recipe. So I'd like to say thank you. I'm going to start off with saying thank you for everybody who's joined in ahead of time. Last week was our first episode of Come Cook With Me. And I got to tell you, I was completely overwhelmed. I know that I've had a lot of people in the past say, hey, Laura, you really should open a restaurant. Laura, I just, people who we would have over for dinner, they're like, we can't come over for dinner. This was always one of my friends named Laura also. She'd say, I just can't even do it. She's like, we're going to go out to dinner because I just can't even, and it's not about that. For me, it's just really the joy of making a great meal and having people enjoy it. If you're putting a whole bunch of love into anything and everything that you do, and then people actually enjoy it, there's really nothing more satisfying, more gratifying. And for us, we've always been entertaining people forever. Ever since Brett and I really got married, he's always been in sales, and as we've grown old together, it's just what happens. Sorry, I need to get that blocked. I got to get that out so I can actually see questions or comments that are being made. Although it's kind of far away, I have to look at my glasses and I won't be able to. If you do have questions, I should start off. If you do have questions, if I'm unclear about anything in this recipe, I'll answer it and I'll always post it for you, so you don't even have to worry. But the bottom line is we've always entertained, and over the years it's just been something that I've had a passion of cooking and cooking from scratch. And this recipe, you'll get a hoot out of how we actually obtained this recipe. And it was my girlfriend Susan, who I mentioned in our first video. And I'll give the history behind it, but it's really a fascinating, funny story. But it's just our passion, my passion, and my husband's passion. He's the grill master, and I happen to be like the everything inside, and sauces and so forth. But I was saying that I was really overwhelmed last week. We have, I think it's up to 1,800 views on the salsa and guacamole recipe. I had so many people send me pictures of their salsa the next day and their guacamole. I was just truly overwhelmed. And my husband came home, and if you were on that episode, you saw there was a lot of havoc at the end of the, well, I guess not at the end, but kind of like toward 3/4 in, and my goddaughter came over, and her mother and father were over, and then my husband came home. It was just one of those crazy afternoons in the house, but it went fine. And what was so fascinating is at the end, they said, you should be doing that on a regular basis. So, and my girlfriend Sarah said, Laura, I think you should, and she coined it. So thank you, Sarah. come cook with me. And so we're going to have an episode every week. And I've kind of started, talking to a couple of people, a couple of chefs, and maybe we'll have some guest chefs, and just a whole bunch of things that we've been brainstorming, my friends and I. So I'm really excited. It's kind of fun. So today's recipe is crab cakes. And I did get a message last week when I said finally what the recipe was going to be. It was going to be crab cakes, and somebody said, oh, I don't do shellfish, and I can't remember who it was, so I apologize. And I said, look, you can substitute crab. If you don't like crab, you can substitute any fish and make it a fish cake. It's really that simple. And the other thing is that I'm always looking for, since my healthy nutrition plan, I'm always looking for ways to change my recipes that I've had because they weren't necessarily always the best. I kind of was one of those girls who grew up with Julia Child. And I know that's old, and I am a little older than probably you think. But I'm 53, and that was the person, that was the only person who was making, Julia Child's, I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. I always got up and was making sure that I could watch it. And it was on PBS, so that was just really so simple. That was my go-to person, and then, all of a sudden, the last 20 years, well, cooking is just like totally skyrocket, and it's just, you can find a cooking show anywhere. But what I find interesting is that there's not a lot of people who really talk about the kind of the fundamentals. And if you don't have the fundamentals, well, that's kind of not such a great thing. But the other thing that I noticed, I was having sushi at a sushi bar, and I'll get on with the recipe in a minute, but I thought it was kind of fascinating to share this, is I think the whole idea of cooking in the kitchen with your family, it's really a lost art. And I actually find that the reason why I want to talk about it a little bit is because if it is a lost art for you, maybe it's a good idea if you're watching this, it may be something that you will decide to say, maybe we should cook a recipe.